Hi everyone. Starting a little early because I really don't know where to go or what I'm doing here, but I'm thrilled to be here. Um, so I am in Glasgow, Scotland, which is a city I really honestly don't know as well as I should. Um, I've been to Scotland many times. Hi Helen, but I just don't get to Glasgow that often, and I'm thrilled to be back here. But the World Cycling Championships are on right now. Hey Chloe, nice to see you. Martine, where's the bike ride? Oh, look at these bikes behind me. So what we'd like to do is get a hold of a few of these bikes for me. Ooh, there's something, kind of a protest going on. Lovely to have everyone here. I know I haven't been very active. I'm saying hi Laura, hi Ruth, Sharon. And I do apologize. Now, it's very crowded, and so I'm going to be looking around as much as anything. So I just walked. So the juniors are on today, and I guess the big finals are on tomorrow. But I am, of course, in Glasgow, Scotland. I am in the largest city in Scotland, overwhelmingly. Hi, Seth. And greater Glasgow is 1.8, 1.9 million people. So, and of course, this massive Victorian architecture around here. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of noise. I think the start is about to go. Let me curve this around, everyone. So, this is the start here for the men's. The women's were on earlier, and it started raining. So you have the elite races tomorrow. Sorry, you can probably hear this coming through here. There's a team from Cuba. Look at that. Brazil. Like, this is the World Championships. Many of you might know I am a really enthusiastic cycling, cyclist. I am still recovering from a pretty bad crash about a week ago, but I'm all good. There's the Brazilian team. But it is amazing. South Africa, I did see a woman from, hi Diane, a woman from South Africa fall on one of the corners when it was just raining. And look, by the way, I also enjoy some of Glasgow with all of you. Hey Joel, nice to see you, buddy. So I see, I don't know if you can hear the announcer through me here. So you see there's the TV up in the distance as well, showing the real peloton forming. So they have mountain bike competitions up to the north. So they're doing hygiene. So what a treat. So what I've done in all the courses, I've gotten a bus, and so I had heard that everything was going to be closed here in Glasgow. And of course I'm traveling with my group from Louisiana, and they couldn't be, I feel a bit cheeky really, because really I'm on vacation with all of them. They're just so much fun. And I just said, I don't know what we'll be able to do. But lovely, everything nice about Scotland. The driver comes to meet me this morning. He says, I don't know what we can do. He said, I'll get you as far as I can. And got us into the center. And so I walked them through here. And I'm able to then see some of the racing. So it's actually a huge highlight. Lovely. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you there. So I thought it was meant to start right at 1 o'clock, which is why I put this on. Oh, sorry, 3 minutes to go before the start. I don't know if I can really show. Oh, 3 minutes avant that. And there's the Swiss team, Michelle. If you're here, there's those Swiss flags always make me cross. There's my little Swiss joke. Check out now. Big industrial. This was, of course, an industrial. Hi, Harry. Nice to see you. This was an industrial powerhouse city for years and years, and it's really had to reinvent itself with the obviously the decline of the Industrial Revolution. But it's amazing to see the very front end of one of these races out here, and they've got the helicopters in the air. Like, this is a huge world event. Chloe, I honestly couldn't answer any of those questions. So the juniors, I don't know, because I know that, like, what's his name, Pojic, still was the best young racer in the Tour de France, and he won't be next year because I think at 23. Here we go. Ready, everyone? There's Shimano. So we're going to be starting. I don't know, they're getting everyone very excited. Hey, Diane, I bet you're getting a bit excited. I'm going to be seeing you in a few weeks. Tomorrow, less than finished. Michelle, you just joined, I think. I just showed you some Swiss flags. The Swiss team is out here. Oh, there's a Canadian team. There they are. Say hi to the Canadians. Um, it's lovely to see. So this is, again, the World Championship. So yeah, these are the juniors. The elites are tomorrow. The women did 70 kilometers earlier. Apparently these guys are doing about 100. And the circuit, someone said to me, they think is about 20 kilometers. It'll be 5 trips around. So really neat. So now the wind is coming up and they're forecasting heavy rain. And I always think when Scotland says it's forecasting heavy rain, then because, you know, I've probably, very honestly, I've probably been to Glasgow 5 or 6 times in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen a blue sky. I find Glasgow fascinating. Say it's not a city I know. I know Edinburgh much better. But Glasgow's big, and it's all in the Clyde Valley, of course. Where my ship came in, doing a countdown. Thanks, Cheryl. Oh, thanks for the link there. Yeah. So where my ship came in is out at Greenock, which is about, oh, it was a 40-minute drive in. Beautiful area. Yeah, you know, exactly like, oh, uh, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? Oh boy. Now I don't know. Everybody's moving away. Watch the vehicles coming by. There you go. All the support team. I guess you know what? I'm gonna go with the crowd because I don't know what I'm doing. Right? But it's been very well managed. The yes, I was fine. People so friendly. So you know, it's interesting being here. Here, I'll turn this around for a second. Oops. Sorry. Turn this around and say hi. It is cool, isn't it? So it was fun because I knew I'd be giving a tour here today, but normally anytime I've been to Glasgow, it's usually either flying out of the airport or coming over from Belfast and heading up to the Highlands. And so I usually come in for lunch. But it's really all about, you know, this really impressive and very dominant architecture down here. So it's so noisy, but let me wind my way around everyone. And here, I'll switch this around again. You've seen enough of me now. There you go. So there on the TV now, you can see, get a sense of what's happening at the race. I think they've really come up. Um, oh, hey, I think they've done a great job with the circuit because, you know, we stood for about a half hour watching the women's race earlier, and they were, you know, you never waited long to see people coming through. Um, so, okay, they're saying a very hectic start. Oh, goodness me. My group were all going to chip in and get me a bike, and they said that if I finished in the top 100, I'd be able to keep it. The bikes, it is amazing. You think how valuable the bikes are. And then, of course, they have these support vehicles with whole bunch more of them. Apparently, in the women's, apparently the American team was leading. Someone said, here's Queen Street up here. So, and we're just up on George Square. You're in the heart and soul in many ways of Glasgow. And like I say, I don't feel like I can give really long, meaningful talks about the city. I'd much rather do it with my friend Paul, who's a guide here, and of course, last year when I was in Ireland, Elise came with us from here, but she's just up north, unfortunately. I left her a message. So it absolutely is. There are helicopters over. I don't know. I'd love to get across the street and take you through George Square, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But there's a statue of James Watt over there. And then I even got a young Queen Elizabeth in distance. I'm wondering, I don't know what they've been doing in some of these events, because of course they're close to main roads, that they open it up and let you cross when it's safe to cross. But I did catch some of the finals of the women coming in. Oh, they are crossing away in the distance. Isn't it? Isn't it? I tell you what, let's go down the other way. We'll head down here. I'll head down towards the central station. Sorry, I'm one street off. Yeah, doesn't really matter. But it is fun. It's such a treat for my group. And I mean, I always love my groups, but I'd say because this is, you know, a lot of easy downtime, on the ship, and everyone's just got such a great sense of humor. This crowd. Oh, now everybody's running here. Oh, there's some Australian supporters there. Um, I don't know where everybody's running to. Hey, Joe, nice to see her. I'm sorry if I missed people joining on. Say there's such big crowds that I'm kind of watching my step everywhere. But I am, if you're just joining, in the center of Glasgow, Scotland. This must be a strike going on here. Um, Certainly has that feel. Very interesting hat on that statue over there. But this is the Gallery of Modern Art. Um, Elise, there you are. So everyone, please say a big, warm hello to Elise. Elise, this is Glasgow. It's a city in Scotland. You may have heard of it. Um, you should actually be walking around with me right now. But yeah, there's a strike clearly going on. Here we are. So I drove in along the Clyde this morning. It was a really, really gorgeous drive in. And then now they're forecasting quite a bit of rain right about 2 o'clock. So it's just after 1 local time here. And I'm going to gather my group up at 2, and we're going to head back out to Greenock. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I saw some nice art because I'd never been to that port before. I've always arrived here either from Edinburgh or coming up from the south. So the drive-in was gorgeous. But I think what I'll do then is go and explore that community a little bit as well. So it's nice to see. But we'll wind our way through here, take you up by the Grand Central Station. Although at least if there's anywhere else you feel I should go all the way, I wanted to do George Square, but I really couldn't because of the bike race. But it was so nice to see the start. I'll look forward to looking back on this video myself. And gosh, there's Canadiana everywhere. There's Lululemon over there, and both in Belfast and Glasgow they have Tim Hortons. And honestly, I don't really like Tim Hortons at home, so I'm not about to come and try it here. But it is funny, there's such strong connections between Scotland and Canada, particularly. Um, I did have a really yummy light lunch. One of the other fun things with my group, because they're Louisiana, I bet this feels strange. Because they're from Louisiana, they know food so well, and they're so interested. And even though they have all the food you can eat on the ship, every time we're going out, we're having different pub lunches or local lunches in all the places. From the just to try kind of the local feel of everything. Lovely old. So that's an Italian restaurant in there now. Oh, look at that. The restaurant's called Anche di Roma. And then we're on the Royal Exchange Square. Now, just down on the next street is actually the old Stock Exchange, which is amalgamated. The colors are great, which was amalgamated with the London Stock Exchange. But it's a fabulous building, and it's always a place in the past because it's walkable from the bus parking. So it was a place in the past that I always went to, but I couldn't get across to it. So the Ivy right here is where I had lunch, and some of my group did. Now they were enjoying shepherd's pie and fish and chips. But yeah, Royal Mink Place. Gosh, it is a very attractive city, and it's a very clean city now. Of course, imagine what it was like Industrial Revolution wise. Imagine when it was just all of the coal burning. But now it's really well, I know that a lot has been studied here. I mean, Belfast is studied, of course, because of the transition from quite a conflictual zone to, of course, now a vibrant multicultural zone. And Glasgow's another place that went from a transition, and an important one, from being, the Industrial Revolution, the true sense, and then now, of course, trying to become much more a cultural center. And it's these sort of events, like the Cycling World Championships, that change the whole face of things. Scotland itself, of course, brands itself very much as an outdoorsy country, and that makes some sense. Buchanan Street over here, one of the main streets. But whenever I'm up in Scotland, here in Edinburgh, I always look at the old chimneys up on the buildings. Imagine when it would have had coal soot coming out of them. What a different world that would have been. Interestingly, I've watched a few of the Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Did you, Elise? Elise, oh, here you go. Elise just said she went to school 5 minutes along from here. And that Peaky Blinders on Netflix, I don't know if you've watched it, but you get a sense of what it was like. It's obviously done for Netflix, but what life would have been like with the old fires and the coal during that Industrial Revolution time. So I'd say the Edinburgh is big. I mean, Scotland, I think, is, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's around 6 million people now. So, compared to the 58 million down in England. But a third of them roughly live right here. So Oh, no, that was just one support car. I was sort of hoping to see them cycling along. Let's keep wandering down. It's pretty fun to do this. So I hope everyone is healthy and happy wherever they are in the world right now. Um, as I say, I know I haven't been doing nearly as many virtual walks. The last one I did was out in the Channel Islands, but now I'm going north, north, north. I was in Cork. I was just so happy to be back there and in Cove, of course, where I have family living. So, I just had a bit of time there. And then Dublin was a bit, so I'm on this cruise ship called the Regal Princess. Um, and it's huge. The service is great. But in Dublin, we used tenders, and it took nearly 2 hours to get off the ship. It actually abbreviated the day somewhat because it was pretty rough. Now, yesterday in Glasgow was just, or in Belfast, it was just a breeze. Walked off. It was a nice day in Belfast. And I think my group found Belfast really fascinating because it is a fascinating place. And then here, we're docked, of course, about, I don't know what it is in kilometers, 30 kilometers or so out to the west. So tomorrow, I didn't quite read my schedule properly, which some of you won't be surprised about. But tomorrow I'm at sea, and then I'm going to dock up in Orkney. Now I will do a live up in Orkney because I have never been on Orkney. Of course, I always read up, but I'm so thrilled to be going up there. Um, and really sorry, I'm missing the. And then I'll be coming around to Edinburgh. But really, what my group want to do is go to St Andrews. So I've got a bus that day. We're going to go. Oh no, I'm also going to be up in Inverness. But again, that's docking out of town, so I'm going to have to work hard to get in there. Have you known? Well, so I really wish I could remember this lady's name. Came on a tour to Chile with me a number of years ago. She was just a fascinating person from Orkney, and she had whatever a little white symbol. You'll know it if you're from the UK here. It was like the Order of Britain or something because she was the mobile baker, and she'd fly around between the islands on Orkney. She's a fascinating person to talk to. So when we're way down in southern Chile, she's like, well, that's not, that south is nothing like the north that she lived in. But unfortunately, I just can't remember her name because I'd love to have looked her up. But now I wanted to go straight ahead, but I'm not able to move here, everyone. So maybe I'll just curve my way around here because this is just clearly not working for me at the moment. But I'll find another way to wander down. And then eventually I will be in Le Havre as well, so I do get a stop in France. So it's you know, I always have mixed feelings about cruising because obviously you don't get any of the evening vibe in the towns and you only get so long. But what I do say about this particular cruise is that because it's I'm going to go around this way, everyone, because I'm just never going to get down that other street. This one, because it's a 12-night cruise, you really settle in. And I'm hoping the next couple of days, now apparently there's a big storm moving around here. But in the next couple of days, hey Lorraine, nice to see you. It was your birthday the other day too, Lorraine. Oh, I can hear bagpipes too. But hopefully the next couple of days it doesn't get too stormy because I'd love to enjoy the coastline. Listen, Lorraine, because I missed your birthday the other day, um, sorry, I keep switching over. I did want to say happy birthday. And as we always do, Jean de Pays, c'est à ton tour de te laisser parler d'amour. So happy birthday. I changed shirts today. I almost wore my bounce shirt here, but I think I'll wear it when I'm up in Inverness because that's as close I'll get to bounce shirt. Um, so it's, deep Scottish connections, of course, with Canada. So I'm back where we were a little bit before, but let's go down and hang right on Queen Street there and try and make our way down and see if we can catch any more of the biking. But it's fun to see all the vibrant restaurants. So I know that people are a little frustrated with the driving around Scotland City at the moment, but what a great event to be hosting in this country. Also, tomorrow when they have the elites, they're starting in Edinburgh, riding out here to around Stirling, and then coming to like 10 or 13 loops around the city centre here. Now, someone told me they were doing over 200 miles. That sounds a little long to me. That's more like 300 kilometers. Maybe it was kilometers. Because that's a massive route. But, these are kind of like Tour de France distances. And you can some fun integrated architecture here. It's it is very, very heavy architecture. You know, it does feel like a big, powerful industrial city, of course. It is neat. And then there's the protest again that's going on, the strike. So I guess they're not riding up here because it's all open at the moment. So I honestly don't know where they're going. But the rain has held off for us because literally driving into the city, it said heavy rain. Oh, it's neat. Ah, Debenhams down there. So, so at least next time you should I should lend you a gimbal and you could take us for a tour of your city here. Sure is, sure is fun being back. So I'll try and get down to the end. And I wanted to head over by the central station as well, but we'll see where we can get through. But you know, since I was here last, I don't know, it seems lots of shops. A few of them are closed down, but yeah, I was trying to add up. I was actually last in Glasgow not terribly long ago. I think it was the year before the pandemic. I did a tour Ireland, and then from Belfast took the ferry over. I think that's the last time I was here. And like I say, every time I'm here, it really is kind of a lunchtime. So, and I was, you know, driving in today, just saying to everyone, well, we'll see how close we can get. Oh, this is a really cool building. So Princess Square back here. They've got lots of decorations out. And of course, murals have just popped up the world over. I love seeing different murals. Such a treat to see them. So I know that I put this up very, very last minute. I didn't know I was going to get in here. And I felt very badly because I left a message for at least just yesterday saying, because I was toying with, well, we were looking at other options because they were just saying don't drive into the city. But it actually wasn't that difficult. This lovely driver, he's from Edinburgh. He's retired. He's just driving a few days a week, but he's just a lovely man. He said, "Oh, I'm just going to sit in the bus stop, like for the city buses, and if they move me, he said I'll go around the block." So, you know, just a pleasure, a nice warm welcome. And my group had never been to Ireland before, and they've never been, aside from two, haven't been to Scotland, so it is all new for them. So, you know, different sort of event to come in here like this. Pretty, pretty neat to see. So tell you what, let's go up to the next corner, and if I can turn right, and I can show you down towards the central station, give you a couple more views of the city, and then if we see some bicycles come by, great, and if not, maybe I'll sign off and catch up with you, but I will absolutely 100% post a live tour from Orkney, and I'll probably try and make it late enough in the afternoon, you know, that I can get people like my kid, because he's never been up there either. By the way, people often ask about Mr. Fintoomey. He is at the moment out on Vancouver Island hanging out with his uncle, and his girlfriend's out with him. They're actually having a big, I've told some of you that my brother sort of has two families, which is really neat. Well, so three now, of course, he's married, but my brother was, my brother, but he was actually adopted. And it turns out he has a half brother and a half sister, and they live on the island. So they're having, I think they've got 14 people in their house out there. So I wish I were there for the event, because my brother's birthday just the other day as well. And my fun group of Louisianans all sang with me for his birthday. We called him over to you. This is just fabulous. I'm really not sure of the whole route that they're doing, but I know they always come in and do a few other loops around. So there's the central station down towards the end there. Literally, my tour coach will be sitting another block from there, I'd say. It's about where we could get in. And just such a nice, accommodating gentleman said, "Oh, I'll stay here." And he said, if they come and ask me to move, I'll try and charm my way out of it. That's neat. There's the Argyle Arcade. I'm on Argyle Street. So these are all, again, if you know Glasgow, this really is the heart and soul of the city. Gentleman's having a bit of a rough day. Interesting. But yeah, otherwise I'd say it's feeling reasonably affluent to me. Certainly it was nice to see some interesting housing projects along the rivers. Some really good looking, I guess, apartment blocks. So, it's fun architecture. Thank you, Scotland. And you know what, Elise? I guess I knew, I just hadn't thought about that they do have an underground system here as well. We toyed with doing that. Are you dancing? Look at that. Okay, cool. We did toy with actually driving the edge and taking the subway in or the underground in, but but then thought, you know what, it'd probably be so crowded, people coming into the event. We made it in here. Now I need to at some point be on the other side of the road. We'll see. Um, so Saint Enoch Station over here on the left. Again, the other thing, if you're talking about Scotland, I haven't seen the shops. I don't know where they are. There's two major football or soccer teams here for Celtic and Ranger. I would be a Celtic person, but some would be Ranger people, and they take that very seriously. That gentleman is supporting Argentina over there. Argentina, Uruguay, which is nice to see. And then that little Cafe Nero. But it is just great architecture. Now, there comes some weather. So I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I am meeting my group in a half hour on the other side of this fence. So it was raining when we first arrived, and saw a woman, they were slowing down, but a South African team did fall. Now she was fine. But you really see, I've watched so much competitive cycling over the years, but the first time that I've actually seen, well, this is the world. I mean, had I known, I think really I'd love to come to one of these events. Say thanks for the stars. I don't know who sent them, but it's just nice to keep in touch. And feel free, please, to share this, because I know I put it up very, very last minute, but it's nice to connect with everyone. And I've, over the years, of course, I've known quite a few people from Glasgow come on tours and things, but it was just too hard to schedule to meet people here today, because I just didn't know how the day would work out. And now the rain is holding off in a really lovely way, because if it were just pouring down, it's a little bit hard, but it's good. I just want to show you, just in case you're wondering which country I'm in right now. Yeah. Isn't that fantastic? So, and just like in Ulster as well, in the north of Ireland, Scotland, they print their own notes. They're at Bank of Scotland up over there, but I hear a helicopter moving around. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I hope you're all hearing me just fine. I'm just sort of watching the road more than I am the screen, but it's so nice to connect with all of you. It's so nice to have a video here from Scotland. And so do watch day after tomorrow. Do you know, if I do have internet on the ship, but I don't know if it's good enough to be able to live stream something. I might just try one and do that at one point. See if I can just show you around the outside of the ship. But I think that might be kind of fun. So if you can just hit those likes, it'd be good, just because I don't know if anyone is actually still here or not at the moment. I don't know why I'm not seeing your chat, unfortunately, everyone. So I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I'll try that. Nope. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on one second. I'm just gonna see. Swipe left. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Would be fun. Okay, please stop. All right, let's do. Okay, watch this, everyone. Sorry. There we go. There's the support vehicles coming through. What a huge thing to organize. Sorry, I didn't see Ruth's idea there, Claire. Mary Beth, you wonderful human being. I am in Glasgow, Scotland, and this is the World Cup of Cycling. And the men, we saw the start almost exactly a half hour ago. Now there's obviously, great timing from the Swiss watch. But boy, it would be fun to see if one of the bikes come around the corners here. So obviously the police and everything. I was waiting for that guy. Yeah, they're coming out, clearing everything out. And let me see. Fred, thank you for the update. Cheryl, are you a real cycling fan? It's funny, I'm a real cycling fan. Oh, look at this. And I genuinely love it. But I never really mind too much who wins. I just really enjoy watching it. And say during the pandemic, I did the whole, the last bit of every day of the Tour de France on my bike in the basement. And I usually had to pause them so I could win. Holy, there's a ton of... Okay, here's Tissot. Oh, that's going to be a time thing, isn't it? That's how that works. Yeah, it was showing the times. We should be seeing some bikes pretty soon, I would think. Tell you what, let me try and just move up a little bit. Let's have a look here and see if the actual, goodness me, there's a huge amount of support vehicles. So Mary Beth, you would be loving it here because here we go, because the climate has been, there we go. Ooh. Oh, Team Netherlands in the lead. Oh, all right, let's come back a little bit. All right, oh, this is fantastic. Excuse me. This is so exciting. Oh, watch this. There you go. Now that is the peloton. Team South Africa, Austria, Czech, Hungary, Ukraine. Right on. Good for them. I think I saw Israel go by. Oh, there's Canada. Thank goodness. I was really... Mexico. Ah, vamos los mexicanos. I've met quite a few Mexicans on the cruise, so they're having fun. Portugal. España. There we are. Morocco, excuse me. Yeah, I'm surprised these cars can't catch them, but all right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a few more cars. Oh, Sweden. Sorry, I really like cycling. There you go, USA. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I just have to. I was going to tell you a cycling story, but actually, I want to tell you about the one night. Isn't it fun, one? It's Colombia. Finland, that's cool. It really is international. It is fun. So I'm gonna let you go over. I always try and create a little hook because then you want to come back next time. So but this time, rather than telling you a cycling story, I want to tell you about the time that I was out. It was in Edinburgh, not Glasgow, because the only time I've ever stayed in Glasgow has been out at the airport. But they have these, these nights where they're celebrating, pre-weddings and everything. So yeah, well, I just saw one of these ladies go by. I was planning getting married, but I met this one, and she was a bride to be. However, we started talking at the bar, and she said, "Oh, have you tried the Scottish